All right, welcome back to day 3 here at DellyMaths Concepts. We are looking at solving simple equations, and today we're going to be focusing on solving inequalities. All right, so if you're new to this channel, subscribe to the channel, like this video, and drop a comment. Let's go. So what we're doing here is that we want to solve these inequalities, and then we want to represent the answers on the number line. All right, so we want to take a look. The reason why these are inequalities, as you can see, this is not an equal sign. There's an inequality sign right there. It's greater than or equal, right? So when you're solving this, we're going to be solving them normally, and then we're going to represent the ideas on the number line to the right. So how do we solve this? Number one, we have 2x plus 4 is greater than or equal to 24. First things first, let us subtract 4 from both sides. So we're left with 2x, which is greater than or equal to 20. And then here, we're going to divide both sides by 2. So we're left with x is greater than or equal to 10. As you could see, the way in which we solve these is just as though we would have solved a regular equation. So now we want to represent x is greater than or equal to 10 on the number line over here. Now remember, because there is a bar underneath my inequality, it means that at 10, I'm going to have a closed circle here. And then greater than, the numbers greater than 10, they're pointing in this way, so I'm going to point this way. So this is representing that x is greater than or equal to 10. As you can see, the numbers to the right of 10, they're greater than 10. Let's take a look at the second question. Question 2, it says m divided by 3 minus 3 is less than or equal to -6. So what we want to do here is just to solve this ordinarily. So I'm going to add 3 to both sides. So what I'm left with is m over 3 is less than or equal to -3. In an effort to find m, I'm going to multiply both sides by 3 so that the 3 here would have canceled itself. And I multiply this by 3. So m is less than or equal to -9. So let's focus on this. What we want to represent now on our number line is that m is less than or equal to -9. So let's put this on the number line here. So here it is, I'll have -9 right here. Now, because what we have is that m is less than or equal to -9, because the bar is under my inequality, that means I'm going to have a closed circle here at -9. And then I'm going to point to things that are less than that. And on the number line to the left are things that are less than your marker. So we're pointing in this direction. So this is representing that m is less than or equal to -9. Let's get the next question. For question 3, what we want to do is to distribute. So we're going to distribute our -3 inside the bracket first. So -3 times p would give us -3p. -3 times 1 will give us -3. And this is less than or equal to -18. From here, we're going to be adding 3 to both sides. So we're left with -3p, which is less than or equal to -15. So now we're going to divide both sides by -3. Now, whenever you divide by -3, what happens really is that the moment you divide by a negative number, your inequality sign will flip. So here we'll have p, but the sign is going to flip on us. It's going to be greater than or equal to 5. So remember though, the only thing that happens when you are solving your inequality, if you divide or multiply throughout by a negative number, the sign will flip. And as you could see, our sign flipped. So what we're going to represent on our number line here is that P is greater than or equal to 5. Again, because there's a bar underneath my inequality there, at 5, I'm going to have a closed circle like this. P must be greater than, so I'm going to point to the right. All numbers to the right of 5 will be greater than 5. So we're going to point in that direction. And that would have been where P is greater than or equal to 5. Let's see if we could do the last one here. Number 4. Again, we're going to do our distribution. -4 will be distributed inside the bracket. So -4 times -4 is going to give us positive 16. -4 times x is going to give us -4x. And this will be greater than 56. The next move is that I'm going to subtract 16 from both sides. So on my left side, this 16 and this 16 becomes 0. So we have -4x, and this is greater than 40. Then lastly, what I'm going to do is I'm going to divide by -4. Again, because I divide throughout by a negative number, my inequality sign will flip. So this greater than sign here will become less than. And then this is -10. So we have to pay attention to that. So my final response is that x is less than -10. So because there is no bar underneath my inequality, I'm going to have an open circle at 10. So if you notice, I'm not going to be shading at 10 because there is no equal into it. So x is less than is going to be pointing in this direction. So this is representing where x is less than -10. Bear in mind, there is no bar, so we leave an open circle right there. See you next time, DellyMaths Concepts.